Namaste. Welcome to Vishwa Yoga. My name is Vishwa and today I will talk about type of practitioners or personality types as per Tantra. So as per Tantric text, there are three types of practitioners: animal, warrior and divine. However, as per Tantric masters, there is fourth type called human, especially when it comes to sex. The first three types closely map to the individual predominant temperament or emotional tendencies called bhava. In Sankhya, it relates to tamasic, rajasic and sattvic guna respectively. The human temperament falls between animal and warrior type. Each type has three different levels: low, medium and high, based on the intensity of the predominant guna. However, that can be complex to explain here in a short time, but it will be an eye-opening if you simply understand each type on a high level first. Because our predominant tendency is the guiding force in making the choices of our tantric practices. So first is the animal or Pashu. People with animal temperaments are driven by hardwired impulse or animal instinct. They live in ignorance with deep conditioning and worldly bondage. Their behavior shows laziness and resistance to change. Tamoguna dominates in their nature and Rajoguna runs over as passion. As per Tantra, most people are bound or chained by 8 different things: pettiness, ignorance or delusion, fear, shame, disgust, family, custom, and their caste or class in the society. These are called pasha in Sanskrit, and from word pasha comes Pashu or animal. It means the one who is bound by those emotions and conditioning. Tantra says that Divine Mother bears these bonds. She is the cause as well as the liberator. You know, for an animal, sex is not an emotional need, but purely biological need. If a man or a woman who enjoys sexual union in animal temperament will be rough and violent in his or her sexual act, an animal does not concern with the feeling of the partner. It is simply a matter of satisfying lust or to get over the urge. When the urge comes, they can have sex with anyone. They don't have to be in love. They don't need to feel love. However, later, as the tamoguna changes, compassion, feelings of love and care arises, animal temperament transforms as a human. But it is important to see which temperament remains predominant most of the time. The human temperament is called Manushya, which is made of two words. Man means manas and asya means refuge. So the human is the one who takes refuge in mind or heart. This is a step above from animal to human sentiment. Animals shows emotions, but you know the human emotions are a lot more evolved and complex. Human tendency carries the mixed quality made of both tamas and rajas with a little bit of sattva. This means they can be lazy, may resist, but willing to change. They may have passion with some purity and enthusiasm. The human tendency is to feel the love and care for the other person, and also desire to be loved and care back, craves for attention and reciprocation. In such a state of mind, the sexual union quenches the emotional and sentimental thirst too. So the human temperament desires for love and belongingness, but also give rise to the feeling of possessing your partner. Though it fulfills the deep-seated desire for companionship and togetherness, but more you try to possess and control, the more your partner wants the freedom. Here, those animal bonds are still there with different intensity, but human temperament can reflect and look back for any adjustment and improvements. So the transition from human to Vira temperament requires a high level of rajas with firmness in sattvic quality, and you are ready to give up those bonds. Now, the Vira. So the third one is the Vira sentiment or Veera bhav, one who has a high degree of rajas. Such practitioners have the inner strength to play with the fire and to burn their worldly bonds with it. They are established in complete self-control. Even they get excited due to the high rajas quality, but they do not forget themselves even in tempting circumstances. In the worlds of warriors, they dominate over all the conditioning and animal instinct until it is finally conquered, absorbed, or assimilated. It is said that less than 1 in 1,000 people perhaps belong to this specific spiritual personality type. They are called warrior yogi. In Tantra, Vira is defined as a tantric adept who is just one step below the highest or divine temperament. In Rig Veda, Vira is a term given to progeny. The one who can subdue enemy is a Veer, but above all, the one who harnesses his creative fluid, semen, or Virya, is Veer. The animal's sexual union lasts for just few seconds. A human may last for few minutes, but the one in a Veera bhav or warrior yogis gain satisfaction by prolonging the duration of the sexual union. Unlike the animal way, Veera bhav is not just about satisfying lust. Unlike the human way, it is not out of some deep urge for belongingness and possessing your partner. A warrior yogi temperament is about being there for other person or the partner as their strength and support. It is about being the one they can rely on for security. The warrior protects out of a sense of duty with no attachment. But as more sattvic quality grows in warrior and excitement reduces as he or she gets established into divine temperament, very rare one can get there. So in the divine temperament or a Divya bhav, people are established in the dominance of sattvic guna with some rajasic guna. There is no ignorance or bondage there. These practitioners are personification of sattva guna, who had achieved mastery over their senses and emotions. They are called tattvajnani or enlightened ones. The aspirant of divine nature represents all good qualities like scent. They are ever pure of heart, and to whom all opposites are alike, free from worldly attachment and forgiving to all creatures. So the final stage of sexual union is the divine way, in which you offer your body, mind, and soul in divine temperament. Here, a sexual union is not to gratify any personal urges, but unite in love at all levels. There are only 3 types of people who experience divine temperament in this sexual union. The first one is the one who is completely selfless person, simply playing the role of a giver with utmost compassion and care. Such a person, when making love, is only concerned about making his or her partner complete. But their gratification and joy comes from giving love and security to the other person. The second type is someone who has totally surrendered in love. This person no longer has any personal preferences. There is no personal agenda. He or she has placed the other person on the altar of their heart, want to serve and be the strength of the other person. In sexual union, this person wants to completely offer absolutely every ounce of whatever he or she has with full devotion. But the third type of person who can make love in divine temperament is the tantric adept. Completely detached with no desire to prolong the sexual union, like a yogi wants to fill his consort with divine energy so that he or she may experience a deep sense of oneness even long after the sexual embrace. It's like a spiritual hangover. This is the type and state in which Shiva and Shakti unites. In such divine temperament, the boundaries between male and female blur before completely disappearing. It does not feel like you are making love to another person. Instead, it feels that you are with your own extension, your mirror self, your counterpart. So in summary, the animal wants to satisfy the lust, human wants to belong and possess, warrior wants to secure and protect, but divine wants to set everything free. You can guess that majority of people fall under the first two types, and a tiny percent in third, and very rare ones are in the fourth type. So if you and your partner have two different temperaments, you can observe and reflect on some qualities and characteristics very clearly. So this was just a quick summary about type of practitioner or personality types. I am a certified Tantra educator and yoga teacher. If you would like to know more, feel free to contact me. I will be happy to guide you on this path. Now, you know the major paths, main practices, and type of practitioners. In my next video, I will dive into different level of practices and custom called acharas within each path and map a practitioner with the respective custom or practice. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you so much for listening. If you like the information, please subscribe, like, and share so that everyone else can also enjoy this.